Hello, my name is Chris Fenton, and I am the owner of Royal LePage, Port Alberni Pacific Rim Realty, and listing agent with the Fenton Team of Royal LePage. And I'm joined today by your West Coast real estate expert, Nick Holatko.
Hey Chris, thanks for having me today. Yeah, I am a TFT Buyers Associates buyer's agent on the West Coast here. And today I'm going to be sharing the West Coast market update for the months of March and April.
Yeah, and we're really excited because we have some other news for you about the West Coast, and I'll let Nick tell you about it because it really is his news.
Yeah, it's very exciting. For the first time, Royal LePage will be opening up an office out here on the West Coast. So we're going to have an office space in Ucluelet, and we'll have it there to be able to better serve our clients that we have in the Ucluelet and Tofino markets out here on the West Coast. So very excited that that'll be opening up on June 1st. And of course, we'll be trying to keep all of our health and safety measures in place to keep our clients safe and our communities safe. But we'll be starting to phase that in and be available to help answer any questions people may have.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we're coming today with the real estate market update because the communities are starting to open up a little bit. You probably know that we real estate agents were deemed an essential service by the government, which meant we had a responsibility to help our clients who really had to buy or had to sell. And Royal LePage took the stance right away to close all of our offices so that we could keep our communities safe. We sent the realtors home, and everybody's working from their virtual offices, as you can see that Nick and I are. So we are opening up our offices again, but we're doing it very carefully, social distancing in place. We're taking this very, very seriously. Now, I think it's time to get into the stats, and I'll let Nick let you know what's been going on in both Ucluelet and Tofino so far this year.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Chris. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see some of the graphs that I pulled up. So I separated the Tofino and Ucluelet markets. As we know, they both are on the West Coast communities, but they do have very different real estate markets. So looking at Ucluelet, the March statistics, what we can see, the biggest surprise here was that we saw 0 sales. Our new listings was very similar to what we had in 2019. And this graph down here at the bottom just charts back the month of March all the way back to 2007 for new listings and sales. And I wanted to do this just to see if we had any irregularities in these months ever since the health crisis kind of broke out. And what I've noticed is that in Ucluelet especially, that having 5 new listings is very, very much an average. So, nothing shocking there. Seeing 0 sales is definitely the lowest that there's ever been. However, there's been a few years ago in the month of March where we only saw like 1 or 2 sales. So it's not too striking. Looking at the month of April, again, we had a bit of a drop in new listings. So last year in 2019 in April, we had 5 new listings, and this year in April, we only had 2. Again, 0 sales. And looking at the graph that I have down here with for month of April going back to 2007, again, we can see that there's been in the past, a few years with only 1 or 2 sales. And yes, the new listings is definitely lower than normal, but it's not crazy too low out here. Now looking at Tofino, it's a very similar picture. The interesting thing about in Tofino in March was March 2020 and March 2019 were the exact same. Only 2 new listings and 0 sales. And looking at the graph here, you can see that it's very common for about the last 5 years. Seeing numbers like that in the month of March is very similar. So nothing too surprising there. And again, looking at the month of April, we saw only 1 new listing. And, in 2019, there was 4 new listings. But again, looking at this graph, moving back in years, it's not very uncommon to see numbers this low. And it just kind of reiterates the trends here. So nothing too surprising in Tofino, to be honest.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that. Now, I think it's really important to talk a little bit about how real estate will be done moving forward. What I expect will happen, and of course we'll have to wait and see, is I expect that what would traditionally be a bit of a spring market where a few more of those listings would come on, it's just going to get pushed to a sort of a summer market, if you will, for the first time in history. So I expect the market to sort of condense over the summer. Now, we at the Fenton Team and at Royal LePage, we're a high-tech real estate company, real estate marketing company. So we own 3D Matterport cameras that map homes. So all of our listings get 3D walkthroughs. People can do a virtual viewing without ever seeing the property. We have a drone to fly over that can do aerials. The buyer's agents are doing virtual open houses using video technology similar to this. And so we've actually sold here in the Alberni Valley in the last 2 months, we've sold some houses completely virtually. And I think that's a really important thing for Ucluelet and Tofino. It's incredibly important that we keep these smaller West Coast communities safe during this as we slowly open up the province. So we're wanting to use those technologies, and it's been interesting that we've been able to use those even throughout all of this. Now, I just ran the stats myself out of interest sake before I jumped on this video for the last 2 months, which is basically May 16th to March 16th, the entire time this social distancing health crisis has happened. And there have been 0 sales in Ucluelet, Tofino, and Salmon Beach, as Nick just pointed out. Now, I have a listing in Tofino that has a pending offer that we put together last week. And I understand you've had some success in the last couple of weeks, Nick. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of really interested buyers. I've been talking to tons of interested buyers. And in the last 2 weeks, I've actually had 2 accepted offers for buyers. So excited to, that those sales will be pending and will be posted throughout the summer here, but it's really positive to see that that's been happening. And both of those sales have happened because of virtual showings. So, without the actually being able to come and see the property, but showing it with my cell phone and being able to highlight certain areas. So it really helps cut down the amount of time and the amount of visitors that need to come out to the West Coast, being able to do stuff like that, and still being able to serve those that need the service and need the real estate help right now.
Yeah, and I think that's something I need to underscore a little bit here is if you're looking to buy a home or you're looking to sell a home and you have concerns about, the health crisis as you should, give us a call, 250-723-8786, and we can discuss with you the policies we're putting in place to keep our clients safe, but also what Royal LePage is doing to get that message out there virtually, which is really what we specialize in. So I'm excited for the future. I'm excited, cautiously excited for our move into Ucluelet, and really looking forward to next month's market update to see how things have changed over there in Ucluelet and Tofino. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for Nick for joining me. And
thanks, Chris.
absolutely, we'll talk to you next time.
Sounds good.